What's going on, guys? Hey, it's Anthony with the Rent Start Experiment. Thank you guys for tuning in. And it is Tuesday, which means we got a whole new episode here at the Rent Start Experiments YouTube channel. Today, we're going to be just kind of riffing, going with the flow, talking about numerous things. So stay tuned. All right, guys. So thank you guys again for tuning in. If you don't know, I'm Anthony. This is the Rent Start Experiment. Every single Tuesday, we drop a new video discussing pretty much anything and everything under the sun. Here, we also do reviews on products in which we have a whole slew of them that we have kind of in the bullpen getting ready to come out. So you guys will see those as well. By the time this airs, let's see, it'll be Tuesday. I will be in Chicago for work. So I thought shoot this early, get it up so you guys can see that. Hopefully I'll get some footage. I'm not sure because Chicago's heavily booked. If anything, I'll talk about the visit there and invite you guys as well. One thing I did want to talk about in today's video as far as motivation and everything goes is something that I'm currently doing. I shared this on my other channel, the Rinsed Out Garage, because it affected that channel with some of the vehicles, but I want to talk about it big picture wise here with you today. And that is consolidation, more or less kind of building the scope or scoping your life to where you can kind of max benefit so you can do those things that you really want to do no matter what they are. I'm sure I'll talk about this in several videos, but I thought, why not launch that here? So you may or may not know, I worked remote for almost 11 years here in Alaska, which means I flew to work, flew back and forth. And with doing that, I was home for weeks at a time, working for weeks at a time. And it worked really well for my lifestyle, my family's lifestyle for a long time. Now that I'm transitioning back, it really kind of opened my eyes on a lot of stuff I took for granted, a lot of things that I wanted to do that I haven't been able to do. That still semi-pose a challenge because I do have to work my 9 to 5 days a week, all of that stuff, but that'll come in a different episode. The point I want to make here, and I'll dive into it a little bit, is there's a lot of things that all of us want to do, whether it's something like YouTube, how do I get started on YouTube? What do I have to do? Or maybe it's skiing, or maybe it's driving a motorcycle, or maybe it's writing a book. And the thing that I've learned from working my ass off and from doing a lot of stuff, here at home, doing a lot of stuff on YouTube and everywhere else, is it's hard to find success. Nothing's impossible, but it's hard to find success in things. The more your scope or the larger or more things that you have going on. And what I mean by that very easily, and I'll talk about myself, is before when I was working remote, most of the stuff when I was working, I would get phone calls and stuff at home, but I wasn't working most of the time from home. So that means, when I would be off for 2 weeks, I would be able to do YouTube. I'd be able to spend time with my family. But then when I went back to work, I wouldn't be able to do those things pretty much. Or if I did, it was always to a limited degree. Now that I'm home full time, there's a lot of things that I took for granted that I wasn't, I don't know if aware is the word, but I started looking at stuff and saying, like The Office here, this thing was long overdue to get cleaned up. I've done that. I've shared a video on that. The garage was another one. I've got a shed in the back. All of the stuff needs to be cleaned out. Need to get rid of all this stuff, blah, 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 blah. So I do that. Now, that is a part of what I'm talking about in this sense. So just follow me here for a minute. So I use this office all the time. Now, the better I can come in here and use the equipment the best of the ability means I'm going to have more time to do other things, right? So with this new office setup, shooting videos, editing videos, cutting videos, doing this kind of stuff is way easier than what it was before. Easier means time spent is reallocated or put towards something else, right? Now that's reality. Whether you look at it that way or not, that is the reality. Whether you are an ambitious person, a lazy person, a methodical person, whatever it may be, that also plays a large part in this. But in my case, getting this office cleaned up, getting the garage cleaned up, that was a part of it. The other part, with the garage, I ended up consolidating a bunch of vehicles. I'm sure you guys will see that, and I'll talk about that a little bit more in other episodes to hopefully gain some financial freedom, and so I can add more focus to the garage. Now, it goes the same really in life. If you think about this, we all have all these things we aspire to do. I want to go to the gym. I want to get fit. Well, I try to go to the gym 5 days a week, 5 out of 7. So that means that I have to take that time from something else. That also means that I should schedule my day appropriately. So I go to the gym, maximize those efforts, and then go do whatever else it is I want to do. Now, where the rubber meets the road on anything that you want to do, it's starting and creating that scope, that plan that fits within your lifestyle, fits within your day, and being realistic about that is absolutely critical for your success. And here's why, right? So I transitioned to home. I'm, working 8-9 hours a day, give or take the day. I do get calls and messages on the weekend, which is fine. It's what I signed up for. No qualms, no issues, no nothing there. Where the reality sets in is like, okay, so how do I still accomplish things at home running that schedule? So then I'm looking at the gym. Okay, so I go to the gym for a minimum of an hour. So if I work out during a day that I work, then it's 8-9 up to 9 to 10 hours. Okay, if I have to drive into the office, that's an hour and a half each way. So that's 3 hours. So if you start adding that stuff up, I mean, you're talking easily. I'm easily looking at a 12-hour day, maybe longer, just for those things. That's not spending time with the family. That isn't mowing the lawn. That isn't checking the mail. That isn't anything else other than those basic things. Now, when you start thinking about stuff that way, it can be overwhelming, right? Well, I have all these things. I got to take the kids to daycare. I got to do this. I got to do that. Or maybe you don't have kids and maybe you're just participating in a lot of things and you want to maximize. You want to do more YouTube. You want to play more guitar or whatever it is. That's where it's absolutely critical that you start taking a look at this stuff under that microscope and saying what is real and what isn't. What do I need to be doing and what don't I need to be doing, and making to some degree appropriate cuts in that. Create the lifestyle that you want, and it doesn't cost. I mean, where I think a lot of people get confused or get kind of goofy about stuff is that, because a point to easily make is this, right? When you think about doing the stuff that you want to do in life, am I where I want to be right now? I am where I want to be. I'm hopeful that in a year, 2020, I will be 10 steps ahead of where I am today, and I'm busting my ass to get there. Now, that's what makes the difference between the guy talking about it or complaining about it and the guy doing it. Now, that is a difference that I've ran up in my whole professional career, my career, or my time doing YouTube, my time in Instagram and everywhere else, is there is a distinct difference between the guy that's doing it and a guy that is bitching and moaning about this, that, or the other. A work thing. All of us have heard, oh, that's bullshit. That guy got promoted because X, Y, and Z. Well, here's a reality. Someone thought that there was value add to whatever it is that guy's doing. And to be completely honest, most of us don't know what the guy beside us is doing unless you're spending the majority of your day monitoring them from task to task or from thing to thing. So to devalue them or to think, hey, I could have done that, I could have done, but you're not doing it. So face the reality. And that part of it has been weighing heavy on my mind with a lot of different things recently. And it's empowering, at least for me, it's very self-empowering, because that is the difference. You know, a lot, you got to face that shit because people, and to include yourself, maybe you're that guy, you know, think about that. Think about what you're saying to yourself, what you're saying to your spouse, your friends, your family. I'm going to do X. I'm going to do X. I'm going to do X. Or maybe you are doing X and it's just this much, but you feel like you can just talk about this stuff all the time with no results. And that's where, you know, personally, I call bullshit on it. I think you're leaving a lot to be desired and you're missing the point of living life. You know, there's a lot of these things that I'll talk about, but this is one of the ones that's been weighing heavy on my mind as, you know, I'm personally figuring this stuff out for myself, for my family. And I wanted to share this because it's an interesting thing. You know, a lot of people, you know, are on one side saying this shit's easy, I just do what I do. And the other side is just talks about it, never does anything. And then there is the guy or gal that is like, you know what, I'm not going to sit here and talk about it. I'm not going to complain about it. I'm just going to do it. And this is what it's going to start taking me to do it, because you don't know what it takes to do anything that it is you want to do until you start doing it. And then it's going to change. It will always change because you've never done this thing. And there's so many variables in everything that it is you want to do that time itself will dictate time and people and what the variables in every situation will dictate what that next step is going to be and what it may not be, you know, because you're not always going to win. YouTube's a perfect example. I'll use that as a simple one for me. You know, I spend all this time on a video and then I think, you know, this is going to be the one. This video is going to do fantastic. These people are going to love it. Bam, I get 6 views. I'm like, what the hell is this? You know, and then I do a video that didn't take as much effort, and I get 100 views the day I release it, you know, which is big for me. I'm not going to sit here and complain about it. I love it. That's, if I'm getting 100 views, if I'm getting 5 views, you know, that's fantastic for me. Not in the sense of success and comparing myself to others, all of that bullshit. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the very baseline, the fundamentals, that stuff that every person should be working on. And I'm not talking about reading a million books or buying some hokey ass thing off the internet that some YouTube ad's trying to sell you. Just do a quick self-evaluation on what is going on in your life, what it is you want to do. Make sure it's semi-realistic. I would encourage you to do that, simply because that'll help you gain traction faster. That's that easier approach. And that's what I'm doing. It's what I have been doing. And I'm every step that I've taken, you know, sometimes it's 1 step forward, 3 steps back, but every time that I've done this, I feel like I've grown as a person. I feel like professionally I've grown leaps and bounds because of this approach. And an important thing with all of this is my personal abilities to accomplish things has significantly increased. And with those abilities and with understanding value and understanding scope and understanding your capabilities, you know, what it is you want to do is really at your own demise. I mean, yeah, in some cases you're going to have to give up things to gain things, right? In some cases you're going to have to give up that time in order to become that, to get that skill, or in order to get that car that you really, 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 really want. Yeah, you're going to have to work weekends. You're going to have to maybe sell your gun collection and do all these things to get there, but you can get there, believe it or not. You just have to do the work, check your scope, create a plan, and get after it. Let's just wrap it up there. I know I went on what looks to be quite a little rant. More to come on this, guys. I'm super passionate about this. I am, for multiple reasons. One is it's helped me stay positive with change. It's helped me not only stay positive with change, but to endure, to embrace, and to create change that's helped me in my life and help my family's life. And it's not easy. None of this stuff is necessarily on easy to make decisions and to hold to those decisions and then say, okay, you know what, it kind of sucks to do this, but here's the benefits of it. So now what's next? What can we take from the benefits from this? And then what's next? So we can add the benefits of this other thing and merge those together and have this great thing, and then just keep lumping them together. And these are all small. I mean, some are big, but majority of the time it's the small things added together that equate to that big thing. So you can do whatever it is you're driving to do, buying a home, building the coolest yard in the neighborhood. I don't know. But more to come on that, guys. Once again, thank you guys for tuning in. I'm Anthony. This is the Wrenched Out Experiment. This is your Tuesday motivation. Make sure hit the subscribe button if you guys have not subscribed. I can't guarantee videos like this, which could be good, could be bad. I don't know. But I did want to put this out, and we have videos coming out every single week now. That is my promise to you, at minimum, the Tuesday motivation. But on some of these weeks, we'll be doing reviews. We'll be doing some outside talks. Today, I don't know if the mic picked it up or not. It's super windy outside. So that wraps us up. Hey, thanks for tuning in. We'll see you guys in the next video.